It's time to check in on Universal Orlando's upcoming theme park, Epic Universe, where new theming details continue to be installed in each of the park's lands. The Donkey Kong coaster is getting its themed minecart track. The Hub's dual-track roller coaster is receiving a large space-themed icon, and more scenic elements are unveiled at How to Train Your Dragon. Let's check in on work happening in all areas of Epic Universe, as well as what insight new trademarks can offer in today's news update. We're starting today's update at Super Nintendo World. After entering the land via the portal's warp pipe-themed escalator and exiting Peach's castle on the upper level, this section of pathway appears to have been completed. Moving along the upper level, it appears that the darker section will be the next area to receive this tiled path. Also on the upper level of the Mushroom Kingdom area of Super Nintendo World, the exterior for Bowser's Fortress continues to take shape. A unique roofline can now be seen above what will eventually become the entrance to the Mario Kart ride. To the right of here, we can see the iconic Mount Beanpole, which is becoming more complex as additional elements are added. Zooming in, we can spot the round platform, which will likely be used for a Yoshi figure that walks around a tree. Behind this area, the Donkey Kong Country section has made some exciting progress. Decorative railroad ties have been installed along several sections of the track for the Donkey Kong minecart roller coaster. These cartoony planks help to make this track match the minecart track as seen in the Donkey Kong video games. One section of the completed minecart track is here, in front of the Golden Temple facade at the back of the area. And remember, this track is only for show, as the ride vehicles will actually be attached to a sideways track hidden below. This will help make it appear as though we are jumping over gaps formed by missing pieces of track, like this jagged section here. A ride envelope tester can be seen on the track now. It represents the size of the ride vehicle as well as the estimated reach of the rider's arms outstretched. This envelope vehicle will be pulled through the track to ensure themed elements are outside of the rider's reach as they're installed. Notice how this mock ride vehicle connects to the real track below. This is how the minecarts will connect to the real track, traveling below the fake minecart track that we see above. This particular section of the ride will see us skating across a water feature in between two broken sections of minecart track. We'll have more on this attraction as additional themed elements show up, but for now, let's move on to Dark Universe, the home of the Universal Classic Monsters. We're still waiting to see what the highly themed portal entry into the Dark Universe land looks like under the scrims and scaffolding, but small bits of tree roots and rockwork can be seen peeking through. Inside of the land, a lot of work for the spinning roller coaster attraction has been focused on installing roofs. Expected to be named The Curse of the Werewolf, the barn structure surrounding the swing launch part of the ride continues to receive exterior work, including its sloped roofs. The visible roofline for the coaster's station building and exit area is also receiving similar roof work. The metal frames in front of the station are expected to be for tents that will make up a section of the queue and the covering over the final brake run. At the back of this land, a lot of attention is turning towards the windmill-themed dining location, thought to be inspired by the original Frankenstein film. The framing for the decorative windmill itself, which sits atop the actual restaurant, is being installed piece by piece, recreating this iconic location's shape. Looking along the visible edges of the structure, themed brickwork is being added. What appears to be a covered seating area can be seen on the side of the structure, and more brickwork can be seen lining this dirt-filled section here, which will help to make it appear that the windmill is sitting further away on a hillside. A new trademark application that is likely related to the windmill-themed restaurant was filed by Universal. The Burning Blade Tavern is the trademarked name, which was filed for use as a restaurant or bar. It fits for this location as it is expected that the blades of the windmill will be on fire, just like as seen in the Frankenstein film. We've even seen permits showing gas lines running to this structure, labeled for use as special flame effects. Another recently filed trademark is for the name The Manor Storehouse, which is listed as being for a retail store. This could be the name for the land's main ride's exit gift shop, which will be a room in the large manor facade that guests enter to experience the attraction. The arrows in this photo are pointing at unique architectural shapes being added to the manor's facade. And speaking of architectural elements being added to large-scale facades, moving into the near full-size Parisian streets of the Wizarding World area of Epic Universe, it's possible to see these finer details along the roof lines, but new decorative elements are also being added at the end of the land's main street. Acting almost like a Times Square-style fork in the road, what appears to be connections for themed facade fronts has been added to this skinny structure. A domed roof and supports for its slanted roof lines has also been installed atop the structure. While this area may be expanded in the future, this particular part of the land is mostly just for show, at least according to the latest permits, and will feature several false facades and a forced perspective effect. Both of the land's main attractions are located to the left of these structures. In this view, we can see the structure of the main attractions on the right of your screen, and the expansion space for future additions on the left, hiding behind these facades and forced perspective display. At number 2 in this photo, an open-air alley can be seen. This is where one of the land's 2 indoor dining locations can be accessed from. This area will also contain some false fronts, including the house of Nicolas Flamel, who not only appears in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, but is also based on a real French alchemist. An entry path leading to this open-air alley can be seen at number 1 in this photo. And here we can peek in to this hidden side street. One area of the park where much of the progress is not hidden, however, is How to Train Your Dragon: The Isle of Berk. The portal to enter this land is receiving some work, and it looks like it will be partially buried given the protective coating being added to the front. The structure on the left is similar to the hillside for the monster's windmill structure, so perhaps this portal to the Dragon's Land will be themed as a hill. An awning structure has been added to the back of the portal as well. The pathways leading into the land look like they're being prepared for pouring, leading to a bridge over the land's roller coaster. Additional framing has been added below this bridge. The lagoon at the land's entry, featuring the colorful statues, now has its scenic boats revealed. These permanently docked boats are for show within this area of the land, and they are receiving paint, including on their bows' figureheads. Nearby, test pieces have shown up in this area, which include rockwork pieces. They may possibly be testing decorative pieces outside against the elements ahead of the cliff face themed display to be installed atop the Mead Hall restaurant. This is rumored to be a large forced perspective mountain which will become a sort of centerpiece for the land. Also among the test pieces is a small section of boat that is likely the design for the ride vehicles for the interactive boat ride. The path layout for this boat ride is starting to become more clear. This section on the left could be the ride's first turn after heading out of the load area's conveyor belt. Located to the left of the test samples is an outdoor quick service restaurant. The roofs over its ordering and pickup windows are being installed now, as well as framing for the roof over the entrance to its connected restrooms. This tall structure atop the building is expected to be a decorative windmill. On the other side of the lagoon, within the center of the roller coaster circuit, pieces of the large central supports for the 2 Skyfly flat rides have arrived, and one of these supports has already been installed on its foundation. Beside this area, what appears to be rockwork mesh chips have been installed around the roller coaster's second launch. The roof for the coaster's station is being installed, and the roof for the land's indoor stage show is more than half installed now, almost blocking out the view of the audience seating area inside. And while on the subject of roofs, checking in on the rides for the park's central hub, the carousel's second dome is receiving its roof supports now that all of the main dome supports have been installed. Permits show this smaller dome as being used for attraction queue space. while the carousel attraction itself will be located beneath the larger dome. Work continues on the many fountains within this central lagoon beneath the carousel ride. The pipes leading to these fountains appear to have been encased in concrete, which is creating the bottom of this lagoon. South of the central lagoon, a foundation has been poured for the park's lower water feature, closer to the main entrance. A rounded, bridge-themed walkway separates these two water features and connects the west and east sides of the park. Pipes can be seen below this bridge to connect the two water features. North of both of the water features, work continues on the seating areas wrapping around the park's large fountain display. Expected to create Bellagio-style fountain shows, this area could be a nice place to relax during the day, but also seat many people at once for a nighttime fireworks and fountain show at the end of the night. A drainage pond located behind the theme park on the other side of the hotel is shown in permits as having a fireworks launch site here at the end of this peninsula. The other ride for the Central Hub, a dual-track launched roller coaster, has seen many more trees planted along its back half. The landscaping work here most likely means that they will not need to bring in any more heavy equipment or cranes for this section of the park. An area of this massive roller coaster that is receiving some work is located near the front section of the ride facing the park's hub. Right here, at the front of the station building, new decorative structures are being installed. As this attraction is rumored to be themed to space travel in some way, and even is expected to be named Starfall Racers, the decorative icon being installed now is rumored to be a rocket or perhaps a shooting star, surrounded by these rounded elliptical orbits. You can see a person working on the structure in the center to get a sense of scale for this large scenic element. Checking in at the park's future entrance area, work continues on the awnings over the queue areas for ticketing on the right. And it looks like prep for the foundations for the restrooms outside of the park is happening now. Plus, this is the outline for the entry's combined security and turnstile area taking shape. Moving through where the park's entry arch will someday soon be installed, and into the park itself, shops seen on the left and right of a small Main Street-style area are coming together. New trademarks for Moonship Chocolates and Celestial Sweets, a candy store, and Various Emporia, a series of connected apparel shops, were filed recently. They are just a couple of the retail locations that we will find here after entering the park. Outside of the park and located just across the street, work is happening furiously to build the main structure for the Project 913 hotel. Its sister hotel, Project 912, is receiving its pool. As we discussed in prior updates, we are expecting both of these new Universal hotels located just south of Epic Universe to be covered in dichroic panels, which make them appear very colorful and reflect light in different colors. A test sample of these colorful and reflective panels can be seen on property located behind the hotels. This sample is likely to see how the elements affect the panel, but also to see how the dichroic glass windows appear with the reflective panels, which will be installed around them. This animated image gives you a small idea of how the colors change as the panel is viewed from different angles. Located between these two hotels and the new theme park, the traffic circle along the Kirkman Road extension has started vertical construction. This part of the road project is important as it is how most guests will arrive and depart from the new theme park. Before we wrap up, I wanted to check in on progress at the new DreamWorks land being built at the existing Universal Studios Florida park. Replacing the Kids Zone area, this new structure, which only sprung up in the past week, is thought to be for Shrek's house, located in his swamp. Also, from these new aerial photos, we can see that the ball factory and the bucket dump from the former Curious George section is in fact still intact. So perhaps they will be retheming this to Kung Fu Panda after all. Check out our last video for official details as well as rumors and permits for this new land opening next year. That's going to wrap it up for this update, but a huge thank you to BioReconstruct for the amazing aerial photographs. You can follow him on Twitter for more incredible theme park photos. Be sure to leave a like on this video and comment if you're enjoying our coverage of the new park. And make sure you're subscribed to never miss an update. For even more information, as well as behind-the-scenes posts, your name in the credits, and more, consider joining our Patreon to support what we do. Patreon.com/themeparkstop. Thanks for watching. See you next time.